Hey guys, it's Haley, your host of Locked On Blues. Today it's June 12th. What does that mean for you, St. Louis? It means that it's been 4 years since the Blues hosted that Stanley Cup, beating Boston in Game 7. So today we're going to be talking all about that. And then we're also going to be talking about how the Blues can get back to the Stanley Cup. And then lastly, Q Gloria. This is Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
First off, thank you guys for making Locked On Blues your first listen every day. We have so much to talk about. But the thing I think I'm excited about talking about the most, I have on my yellow sunglasses here, my blue shirt, my blues book. I'm telling you guys, this is one of the most glorious days in blues history. We get to reminisce on the Stanley Cup. And it's funny because every year on the anniversary of the Stanley Cup, so every June 12th, I go back and I rewatch that Game 7. And, with time running down, Blues are up 4-1. It was inevitable. And just everyone's reaction, it's one of the best things ever. It was a true Cinderella story. And if you take a look back to the road to the cup, you remember the Blues, they really were doubted by so many people, but they ended up being the best hockey team of that year. So I think taking a look back, there are a few things that just give me instant chills. Whenever there's a Game 7, it could be anybody's game. And the fact of the matter was the Blues came out hot and heavy, leading the Bruins 2-0 at the end of the first period, which to me instantly I knew. And I can even tell you guys where I was that day. I can tell you that I was sitting with my dad watching it on the couch. And I said, I know the Blues are going to win right away because it was very obvious. But you still get those butterflies and those chills when time is running down, no matter what the score is. The score could have been 20-1. I am giving football numbers, but folks, you get the point. And no matter what, you're still going to get those butterflies during the last minute of play because you just don't know what's going to happen. So it just is one of the best days. And looking back, we waited 52 long years for this. And finally, our first Stanley Cup and the speech. Oh my gosh, the iconic speech that coach gave before the game. I remember he said something, I'm not going to say the explicit word because we keep a PG on this channel, but he said basically we are the best hockey team and we got to play that way. I am not quoting it because, again, folks, we keep a PG on here on Locked On Blues, but there's just so many things about that game. And then, remember Brad Marchand? I am so sorry to my friends at Locked On Bruins, but Brad Marchand crying, that was another moment where it was beautiful. It's funny because all of those people that are listening right now, I know you guys are listening right now, and you're probably like, I remember that moment, but it really does just give you so much, chills and nostalgia and everything. It's like all of your emotions just seem to kind of come out. And today, I'm not going to deny it. I've been a little upset about how the Blues have played. This past season has been rough. But, looking back, gosh, you guys, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. We look back at the Blues, right? And the season that they had in 2019. And, they played the Jets. They defeated the Jets. What did they defeat the Jets in? They defeated the Jets in 6. So they won the series 4-2. Okay. Then they take on the Stars. Oh, man. I feel like the Stars are just one of those teams that not a fan of. But they did have to play them in a Game 7. And I think people tend to forget that when you take a look back on, the Blues, the Stanley Cup run, that they did play the Stars in 7. And then it was the San Jose Sharks, which, okay, first off, they've been such a weird team, the Sharks, but the Blues won that in 6, and then they defeated the Bruins in 7. So the Blues did not have an easy road to the cup. And that's why it truly was a Cinderella story, because there's some teams that win in 5. There's some teams that sweep. There's some teams that, they play until 6, but it really doesn't feel like it's until 6. And the Blues, they just had a tough way to climb to get to that cup. So, oh man, I can't even put into words how unbelievable it is. I need to take these off for a second so I can see. It's like my yellow glasses. Today we're feeling all blue here on Locked On Blues, as you guys can tell, as my mic is like changing to blue. But the fact of the matter is that day was one of the best days, and seeing our captain, I miss him so much. Um, Even though it's funny, so okay, I'm gonna put the glasses back on. We're gonna get back to serious mode. So Alex Pelandro, the fact that he is now trying to get a cup for another franchise for their first time, it's kind of like not jealousy, but even like Ivan Berberkov, it's kind of like, oh man, but you guys did it first for us. Like we were the original. Like we were the original. And I don't want them to forget that. But even, seeing Jordan Binghamton and how stoked he was, and Shen, Ryan O'Reilly. Oh my gosh, I do miss him a lot. And my boy Pat. Oh, you see, you guys, now I'm getting a little sentimental. Because I miss them. You will always, and I always am going to say this 2018, 2019 team will always be engraved in me. And I'm going to miss them. Well, I mean, I already do miss the guys that are not here with us. But one day when they all go away and none of the original guys are left, I'm going to miss it so much, because and I'm like going to be a little dramatic here, but they really changed our lives, Blues Nation. They changed our lives. And everydayers, I know the past couple episodes I've talked about, the future of the Blues and, what we can do. But that, to me, that was the future. We all waited our whole lives to see that moment happen, to see them host the cup. And it's nice seeing, former players, especially like Petrandro, be able to do that again. But it's like we were here first, as I said before. But you guys, this is such a beautiful day. And so many of you, I asked you guys on Twitter at Locked On Blues, because the thing is, this is not just about you and I. Well, I mean, it is about you and I, but this is about all of Blues Nation. This is about all of us coming together to talk about one of the best days that we've experienced in Blues history, if not the best day in Blues history. So, as I said, I asked you guys on Twitter to tell me your moment. Um, So Brett, who's a big fan of this podcast, he's, reached out and appreciate all the support. He was in the Marine Corps and his roommate was screaming. And when the Blues won, he screamed and woke everybody up. I told Brett, I said, Brett, listen, that's okay. You're supposed to do that. Jeff, I love Jeff's comment. He said, I recorded game 7 as it was happening in the event that we won. In the following weeks after winning the cup, I had watched the game 7 over 40 times. I still have it on my TV, and that is awesome. I don't think that game 7, like, you can even comprehend what even happened. I think it was one of those things where all of us had to rewatch it so many times, because the Boston Bruins, who have been such a dominant team, came onto the ice looking lackadaisical, and the Blues were able to overpower them immediately. So, no, I completely get that. All right. And then Lee basically is just saying that today has made his Monday. Being able to reminisce on all this Blues. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to cut out. Another big listener of the podcast. said, watching the playoffs for 30 years, seeing the cup after year get handed to the captain, when wondering who the captain would hand the cup to first, second, third, etc. Petro got the cup, then handed it to Jacobi. Jacobo handed it to Sten. Except, okay, sorry. When I see, I love everybody, but I'm like, ugh, I have chills right now. I have chills. I couldn't even get through that. I was like, I get chills. They're electrifying. And then there's just so many things. Oh, so many of you guys are streaming your I'm not going to be able to play them, but your videos reacting. I love that. I love you guys so much because it truly was such a bonding moment that we all had. All right. So we're going to talk about that some more in the last segment. I made sure today's, episode was a lot of nostalgia. But before I talk to you guys about how the Blues can get back to the cup, I'm going to tell you about my friends over at Athletic Greens. I use Athletic Greens every single day. I feel better. I feel healthier. I feel like I have a lot of energy, and Athletic Greens is the best. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL network. And again, that's athleticgreens.com/NHL network. See, I was so happy about Athletic Greens. I just wanted to say Athletic Greens again. And I just wanted you guys to know that good nutrition should be available for all. For every purchase, they donate to organizations helping get nutritious foods to kids. So they have donated over 1.2 million meals to kids in 2020. So thank you, Athletic Greens, for doing such good and making good products. All right, but let's get back to track. How can the Blues get back to the cup? So first off, this draft class, we've talked about that. We're going to continue to talk about that. But this draft class is so important, folks. And I think the real thing with the Blues and how they even got to the cup, I don't want to say it was a bunch of misfits because it wasn't. They had such great players. But you also need to break down too is what made that team special, what made that team different, and they were starving for it. And especially, towards the end of the season, when it gets closer to postseason, you can see players playing with a little bit more energy, a little bit more effort, and you saw that from St. Louis. So I truly believe that the Blues will get back to the cup. That is not a doubt in my mind. I don't think that it's going to happen this coming season or maybe next season or the season after. But I think that at one point they will in the future. I could see them in the next 10 years being maybe a second time Stanley Cup winner. The reason why I say that, it's because I trust the leadership on the team. And when you have your guys like Braden Shen, you have, Justin Folk, there's guys on the team that perform so well and that are true leaders. Thomas, we can go on and on. Now, there is speculation that I saw that a familiar face, Ryan O'Reilly, might return, but that's again speculation. But okay. The Blues, they're an interesting team because on paper, all of these guys are good. And you cannot deny that. So I think maybe it was just a bad season. Regroup, draft some guys, get rid of Torrey because we need to free up that cap space. Again, that is like the worst contract I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of contracts. That's not good. Do that. And you guys could be looking at a team that is a contending team again. It's interesting, right? Because 4 years ago doesn't seem long. But the Colorado Avalanche won the cup last year, and to be honest, and it's nothing against them, but it seems like more than a year ago. The Lightning won for those couple years, and again, it seems longer than that too. So I think it's one of those things where it just seems longer than it was, but it really wasn't that long ago. Yes, like we lost Vladdy and, we lost some guys and it sucks. And I get that, it really does suck. Now I'm getting upset, but it's fine. Going forward, younger. hockey teams are more successful. The Golden Knights, they're not like a young team, so they're a bad example. But even like the New Jersey Devils, they're a young team and they've been, improving. But it's so fluky. Like sometimes players just mesh well that you don't expect to mesh well. So I really genuinely believe, knock on wood, knock on everything, that this, and I'm really saying, and I'm going to be so disappointed if this doesn't happen, but if this draft doesn't go the way that I expect it to go, that you expect it to go, then we're in big trouble. And a couple of you guys even tweeted me over the weekend because I was asking a couple questions. And you guys were saying, maybe new coaching, maybe new this, maybe new that. How about this? Let's give this another try. I have stayed relatively calm, I would say. I don't think it's time for all of that change. I don't. I think that this season was fluky. But the way to get back to the cup is to play with that energy, have that momentum, and be hungry. Hungriness means something. But that 2019 team, that was special. And we still have members of that team. So it's not impossible for them to even step up, be the real leaders on this team and say, you know what? This is what we need to do to win. Binghamton was a net. That hasn't changed. Things haven't changed as much as maybe you think things have changed. Because again, it's only been 4 seasons. I know. We can continue to talk about this, debate this, but that's how it is. So that is how the Blues can get back to the cup. Play with energy, be hungry. All right. Before we talk more about the 2019 Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues, I'm going to tell you guys about my friends over at eBay Motors. All right. For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors with eBay Guaranteed Fit. You can be sure every part you need fits right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know if the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game with no time at all. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit only. Available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Boom. Okay, that's how you do it, folks. Gloria, you're always on the run now. Okay. I like, oh, this is my 3rd episode in and I already broke out singing. But no, this is important because this is a celebratory day. I have my blue shirt on. It's a tank top. I know you guys can't really see it because of my book and my mic. The yellow sunny's on because we are going all out today, St. Louis. So one of the most beautiful parts of that championship run was our friend Gloria. Always on the run now. I can't play it for copyright reasons. But you can obviously Google and look up the song Gloria if you I'm so sorry. I'm really very butchering this song. Um Oh man, but it was played in the okay, so here's a little backstory. Because I know a couple of you guys might have forgot. So it all started when Mr. Stein and Schwartz and a couple of the guys, they were basically watching the Eagles Bears NFC wildcard game in Philadelphia back on January 6th of 2019. And then, because I wrote all this down because this is a beautiful story. So, quote, we got together with some friends and watched the game with a bunch of Philly guys who grew up there at Munson told St. Louis Blues. they had a DJ in the bar, and whenever there was a commercial break, they would crank up the tunes, and all these guys from Philly would get up and start dancing around. They played the song Gloria a couple of times, and this one guy looked at the DJ and said, "Keep playing Gloria." So they kept playing it. Everyone would get up and start singing and dancing. We sat back and watched what happened. Right there, we decided we should play the song after our wins. And our next game was a shutout, so we kept on playing it until the Blues' post-game victory locker room song was Dion's Run Around Sue, because it was like fun. You know that song. Again, I'm not going to sing it because I'm not a good singer, but continue on. So most of the time when you try to figure out a song to play, it has something to do with a team or something that happened throughout the year, Steen said. We started with Run Around Sue, which is a happy song. It's like the feeling you get after, a win in our building. So essentially, that was the song. It was the same vibe with Gloria. It's an old school song, and it puts the boys in a good mood. So whenever we come back from the dressing room after a win, we're yelling, "Play Gloria, play Gloria." It makes us smile. It makes us have a good time. It's working, so we kept it going. So that's how that happened. So that is how Miss Gloria began. It all originated in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So who would have thought? It's funny. Like, that is so crazy because it was Run Around Sue and everyone forgets it. But then Gloria, you're always on the run now. Oh, man. But yes, today is also called We Went Blues Day. Get it? Yeah. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it's funny because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but every time I look back at videos, I'm like, he's not on our team, he's not on our team. But that is how Gloria came about. And everyone was singing, I believe, Country Roads as well. That was another one. Take me home. Country roads. I don't know why I'm singing so much on this pod. I'm just so happy. Like, I know that we're not in the Stanley Cup right now, but like the fact that we won it in 2019, and like it really wasn't that long ago. I'm just like, I'm thinking back to all the memories, all the laughing and crying and happiness. And how could you guys not be happy right now? It's like one of the coolest days ever to just look back on that team. And man, they were so dominant. For the moment the clock ran out, get on your feet, St. Louis. The long wait is over. It's so beautiful. It's glorious. And I really hope more than anything we can get back there, because that, I can't put into words how special it was. And I want you guys that are listening right now, especially my everydayers, to leave me a comment in the comments below talking about what that meant to you, because it meant the world to me. It really did. Sports makes me emotional sometimes. I cannot deny it. When I watch a game, no matter what the game is, I feel like I have so much invested in it. But when it's your own team and the team that you love and the team that you care about, how could you not be emotional? How could you not, you know, feel all the emotions and feelings? It's inevitable. So I want my everydayers, and my everydayers, you guys are so good about leaving some comments, and you guys are so good about letting me know how you feel. This is a must tell me episode where you must tell me how you feel, where you must tell me all of your emotions, because you guys experience this as well. And I want this to blow up so then all these Boston people can see what we had. I'm joking. No, I'm not really joking. But today's episode was fun. I really do feel like whenever we talk about 2019, I just get a smile on my face. And like I can't deny it. This was one of the best days of my life. And it's crazy that it feels like forever ago, but it also feels like yesterday at the same time. But the first cup win in franchise history, man, we waited 52 long years for. I mean, not me because I'm younger, but I'm like only 24, but it was like my whole life. But Just seeing all of you guys today on social media with all your Blues gear on, it makes my heart happy because one day we will get back there. I rewatched the game already once today. Should I do it again? I think I'm going to do it again. And you guys should too after you listen to this episode. All right, you guys, I will talk to you tomorrow. Again, thank you for making Locked On Blues your first listen every single day. All right, you guys, as always, you can follow me on my Twitter at Haley T. Simon, or you can follow Locked On Blues. I'll see you guys. Bye.